Hello, kia ora. Welcome boys and girls, kōrero and tama. So lovely to have you with me again today. And I love sharing my special stories with you. Today, I don't know if you remembered, if you listened last time to the last story we did, and that was called The Little Yellow Digger Saves Christmas. If you haven't listened, that's okay. You can have a listen when you finish this story or another time. But if you did listen, you might remember there was a special bird in that story. Do you remember what the bird was called? I'll give you some clues and you see if you can do some remembering. It was a parrot bird, and it lives in the mountains, and it starts with the letter K. That sounds like ka. Say ka. Okay, I'll show it to you. Have a listen. Got it here for us. It's a Kea bird. Wow. It's a special Kea bird. Now the Kea bird used to be endangered, but now it's still a protected species. There's about 3,000 to 7,000 left, and they live in the mountain region in the Alps of New Zealand. So we still have to be kaitiaki of them, mean be guardians of them and look after them, because there's still not lots left. But yeah, at least the numbers are getting up there, so that's good. So those are the Kea parrots. Now the story we're going to do today is about a sugar glider. Do you know what a sugar glider is? Do you know what? I didn't know, so I had to look it up. I also had to learn about it, so I thought that would be cool for us to learn all about sugar gliders today, because that's what our story is about. Now, sugar gliders are possums. They're just little possums, and they belong to the marsupial family, and they enjoy eating sweet things like nectar and whatever they can find that's really sweet. Now, this sugar glider, the story we're going to read, is about a girl sugar glider. She grows up and she has to leave home, leave her mom and dad and all her brothers and sisters. So she's a little bit sad to leave them, but she wants her very own home. So she's to go on a big adventure out there in the big world. So we can go along with her and see what her adventure's like. Okay, are you ready to listen? Whakarongo, open up your taringa and we'll watch the story. This is called Sweet as Sugar. See the sugar glider possum? And it's by Oakley Graham. Okay, you ready to listen? Exciting. Let's see. Okay. Once there was a young sugar glider who lived happily in a cozy nest with her mum, her dad, her brothers and her sisters. However, the time came when it was time for her to move out of the family tree. It's time for you to find your own way in the world, said her mother proudly. See there with all her whānau, her family, brothers and sisters. The young sugar glider wasn't at all sure about how to find her way in the world, but she tried to be brave. She kissed her mum goodbye and scampered on her way. See, they're all saying goodbye. See you later. Matewa. The young sugar glider scurried from tree to tree for a safe place to make her first nest. At last she came to a tall tree with a large hole in its trunk. See, she's going in the forest. You can just see the tops of the trees because she's in the forest. An ideal home, she thought. After lots of hard work, the young sugar glider had built a very fine nest indeed. So her nest? Say kete paito mahi, which means great job. Look at the beautiful home she's made us. And she's got lots of lovely coloured feathers to make it nice, warm and cosy for her, and some lanterns so she can see. The sugar glider was very proud of her new home, but she missed her family. There was no mum to stroke her face when she woke up in the morning, or her daddy to bring her sweet treats, and her brothers and sisters to groom and play with her. For the first time in her life, the young sugar glider was all alone, and she felt a little bit lonely and a little bit sad, you see. Nearby there lived a family of bush-tailed possums. Mum Possum was keeping an eye on the young sugar glider, and seeing that she was a bit upset, she invited her to dinner. Although the young sugar glider was upset, she was also very hungry. She was a bit chaza. She was hungry. Wasn't that kind of the mum possum, the bush-tailed mum possum, to invite her over? That was kind to look after her. First, she ate Mum Possum's entire store of flower nectar. Then she ate Mum's Possum's honey. "You sure have a sweet tooth," said her mum. The Mum Possum smiling, "From now on, I'm going to call you Sugar." Look at that. Sugar grew to like her new home, her bush-tailed possum neighbours, but she didn't like it when the possum babies teased her about being different. "You've got leftover skin," they called. You see, she is a little bit different, eh? Your body's a bit different to theirs. "They're right. Why do I have so much skin anyway?" wondered Sugar sadly. Sugar just wished more than anything that she just wanted to be just like her friends. See, that's her feeling a little bit worried and a little bit sad. She's thinking, what is wrong with me? Why am I different? But then one day, Sugar was woken up from her sleep by a strange smell in the forest. Suddenly, the calm was broken as animals, big and small, stampeded past, wondering what the animals could be running from. Sugar quickly climbed to the tops of the trees and saw it was a bushfire. Look at that, guys. You see all the flames? Wow. What's going to happen? I hope the animals, the karihoki, are going to be all right. The bushfire was burning really fast, moving fast, destroying everything in its path. Before Sugar had time to warn Mum Possum and her family about the danger, the fire was crackling all around and they were trapped. See? Oh dear. They were trapped in the tree. Without thinking, Sugar launched herself from the branches of the tree and spread out her arms and her legs. Look at that. All the fire leaping at the tree. The skin the possums had teased her about acted like the wings of a glider, and Sugar soared over the fire to safety. Look at that, guys. She's flying. Wow. See, that's why she's called a glider possum. Sugar glider. "That's why I'm different," shouted Sugar excitedly. She's just found out that she could fly. Exciting. Now Sugar had to find a way to help the Mum Possum. Jumping and gliding from tree to tree, she spied a herd of kangaroos in the distance. "Help! Help!" Sugar yelled. "There's a bushfire in the forest and my friends are trapped." The kangaroos heard Sugar's call for help and they followed her back into the burning forest. Wow, that's a bit brave of them. You see there, Sugar saying, "Help, please." And the kangaroos having a listen to her. Let's see, hopefully they can help her, guys. Let's see what happens. The kangaroos bounced back and forth, using their enormous feet to stamp out the flames. Soon the bushfire was under control, and Mum Possum and her family, her whānau, were all saved. Look at that. What brave kangaroos, eh? Thank goodness her friends were all saved. Sugar had saved her friends and found her own way in the world, all in one amazing day. And she had also learned a very important lesson. Look at that, her friends are going, thank you, sugar. Kia ora, thank you. And thank you to the very brave kangaroos for helping too. Now let's see what lesson she heard. She learnt, what was the lesson? Sugar now knows that it is good to be different. See, that was her lesson. It was good to be different. Hope you enjoyed that story, guys. So it's good to be different because we're not all the same. Some of us have got tall bodies. Some of us have got short bodies. We've all got different shapes. And that's really cool to be different because we're unique. Right? And some of us are really good at some things and some things we're not so good at. And that's okay. Things that you're not good at just means you just have to try a little bit harder. It's all right. Okay. All right, guys. Well, thank you for listening. Hope you enjoyed the story. Okay. And it's a weekend coming up, so have a great weekend. Okay. Mā te wā.